You know, Johnny, one of my favorite songs is Old Johnny Boy, but I think it's actually Old Danny Boy. And today, we're not even going to talk about that so much as we are how simple it is to run a WEILER machine, and not just in oil fields and in big places, but locally. We're here in Chicago right now, the high mix, low volume, where some people don't quite understand. So you're actually going to walk the audience through how this all works, right? So let's talk about WEILER. We had a great factory tour there. Amazing machines. Some can go from one wall to the other wall. Today we have one that's a little bit smaller. Some people don't realize that they do get this small and they can be placed in their machine shop. So I kind of want to go over all of that.
Yes, sir.
But let's start with the ease of use and how it can be utilized here in the Illinois, Chicago, Midwest area.
Okay. Well, Chicago, Illinois, Midwest, everybody has job shops. Everybody does low volume, high mix work. Traditionally, we did it on manual lathes. Now you see people tear down the traditional slant bed lathe to run one or two pieces and then have to reset back up on a job because those parts had a higher priority. Change the whole throughput of my shop because I had to run those two pieces. Here, this gives the power to the machinist. I can sit here and I can do basic things and go. This is a Parat tool post that we like to equip the machines with, and if I want to just come in and make a pass.
You know, Johnny, while you're setting this up already, I got to say, that one little move right there was already quite slick.
Yeah, well, I try to be slick. So, but if I come here, instead of a manual lathe, then I've got a geared head and I have to change my gear ranges, I have full constant cutting speed so that I can utilize surface footage.
And
I can come in and do basic facing, basic turning. I can even do a taper turn function by just hitting a button and engaging my four-way lever or joystick whenever you grew up in the 80s and 90s that we had. So very user-friendly, very, very nice to be able to do basic, simple things like that.
I almost have no words for the first time ever. That was smooth, that was easy, it looked uncomplicated as can be. Now, I know you've done this before, Johnny.
Yes,
but
a few times.
And I've run manual machines, the basic ones, you know, X and Y.
X and Y,
right?
yes.
But this looks like it has a lot more to it, which gives a lot more capability, yet you broke it down to where I really felt like if I had a hot job come in, I could throw it right on this machine, knock it out, and then move on with my life.
And that's the whole purpose of this machine. This is where we fit. It's not for everybody, but where you have the right work. If you're cutting hard materials, difficult to machine materials like stainless and Monels, Inconels, even 4140 in the oil and gas industry. That's great, and this is where a stable environment with the boxway design and the turkite and the carriage, all of the build qualities that you saw at the factory in Germany, the highly accurate, because I know during your visit there was a lot of discussion about the precision and accuracy, and you're buying a lifetime machine. Unlike we do in the commodity world sometimes where we get 7 years and then we replace. This machine, we still have machines that are running 30 years ago that are still in service today.
Johnny, you made me think of something. I think this would also be curious for the audience as well. You mentioned the rigidity and precision. We know what German engineering is. We know what goes into WEILER. We know how they support the educational world as well. But I want to go back to what you said about, you know, some of the CNC machines that we have, they'll run great, and they can be high mix, low volume. They can be high volume. However, a machine spindle like that maybe isn't built for the harder materials, and that's the part I want to highlight, like you just said. So if a job comes in and it takes that muscle and that strength and that rigidity and that German engineering, something like this is not going to wear down the machine that's not meant for it. Pop it on here, do the job, and again, as I said last time, move on with your life.
Exactly. Well, that's what it's all about. Spindles are turning, they're making money, and that's what we're all about. We want to be able to get a part up. We got a nice, easy accessibility to be able to get parts in and out. And on our larger size machines, we have large through bores. So E70 model, this is an E50. E70 has a 28-inch swing. We usually put a 24-inch four-jaw independent chuck. With that 8.5-inch through bore, we have a rear chuck. Therefore, you could run 200-inch parts. You have, on your bed length, we go from, like this one's a 2-meter bed. We go up to the longest one that we have here in the U.S. is a 9-meter bed. And in Germany, they've done 22-meter beds in Europe. So there's there's possibilities are endless based on the work that you do. So if I'm here in this local area and I'm thinking about electric shafts, I'm thinking about pulp, paper industry, the rollers. I've got a big heavy lathe that I can sit there and do these 1 or 2 piece parts because I don't want to go put them on the machine like you just said. I don't want to have to go tear down a turret and load up different tools. I've got stations here. I can just take this tool off, pop another one on. A lathe normally will run at 3 or 4, maybe 5 tools. If I got a boring bar, I got a boring bar block, or I can put a boring bar block on the tool post. If I put this boring bar block on, this particular size machine, we put a 3 inches standard. It takes up the entire carriage. So you have the strength and rigidity that that block offers. And we have people with this size machine boring 45 inches deep using good solid boring bars like a lot of our vendors have. And it's unmatched. But that goes back to the engineering. And that goes back to where these fit. So if I'm doing that, which I'm more versed in a region where I'm from, but as I go across the country, I see the need for this in a lot of other industries as well.
And that's the awareness we're trying to create,
Yes.
right? It's because sometimes we get caught in a box or a circle and we like
Correct.
that zone and we stick to that zone. And if we're in that zone, we go, well, that's probably not for me, right? But that's what
Correct.
these moments are for. That's what this camera is for. That's what this awareness is for, is go, guess what? There are things that are pretty much off the shelf at WEILER, and then there's also things that are completely customizable where you
Correct.
can do anything you want. Now, last question I'm going to ask you, Johnny, is how flexible are you when you stretch? How flexible are you?
Not as flexible as I used to be, that's for sure.
Me neither, but what you have shown me, incredibly flexible, and that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to do
Right.
as many things as we can on one machine at one time, and again, just get it done. You showed me so much flexibility, much unlike myself, and as you say as well. Is there anything I didn't ask you, Johnny, that you'd like to convey to the audience for this moment and say, this is something else about WEILER that you guys should know?
Well, I've highlighted the ease of use just to be able to do manual functions, setting my tools and be able to run. But most of our parts that are ran have complex shapes, contours, and details that we need an easy onboard programming system that allows me to quickly and easily program.
Johnny, are you getting ready to show me how easy it is to program complex parts on this machine by switching from manual to CNC mode?
That's what I would like to do, Tony.
Oh my gosh. This is too good to be true, Johnny. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, so I've got this created, not to bore with all of the technical data, but this is my how-to page, my technology, how I want to approach my strategy of cutting, how much I want to take per side, my allowances that I want to leave because I'm roughing. And then I have a contour drawn. I can come in and basically define my shape without using G-code and follow a print and go, okay, all of my values are here and I am ready to cut, and all I do is end with saving. Now, the beautiful part of this is you bring me a part that I just ran 6 months ago, it's still stored in my control, but you tell me this is revision B. Revision B makes my radius from a 62 thousandths radius to a 125. I change this to 125, end with saving, I'm ready to run. I do not have to repost and process and send back out. So as a machinist, and we've had this traditionally in the shops, is that one piece, that two piece, I could already have it ran before a programming department has it out to me in the machine, because traditionally programming departments are a bottleneck. You got 1 or 2 or 3 guys, depending on the size of your shop, and everything flows through them. They can do this in a matter of a minute, 2 minutes, and they're already cutting before that program even comes out from the office. Also, the versatility that you mentioned earlier, I can do the cutting cycles, which shows my contour. I can do grooving, part off, or a simple groove, thread cutting, drilling, and then I can also run G-code through here. So if I want to post G-code for that special detail, or I'm running it on a slant bed and I go, hey, I'm running a face screw 20 inches inside of an ID, and it's been running fine on my slant bed, I can just turn around, put that code in here and run it as well. Now I may have to change the dialect, the G-codes, whether it's a Heidenhain, Siemens, or Fanuc. I've got to change the dialect a little bit, massage it, but then within a few minutes I can be running the code on this machine as well.
It's not often that I'm at a loss of words. Everyone who watches this knows that to be a fact, but Johnny just took words out of my mouth. What an amazing piece of technology. If you want to know more about this, leave it in the comments. Get in touch with Johnny. Get in touch with Methods. Whether we're here in the Midwest, down in Texas, over in California, off to the East Coast, wherever you might be, get in touch with your Methods team. It's very obvious that this is flexible, adaptable, easy to use, easy to transition. And plus, Johnny's the man anyway. So, Johnny, thank you so much, my friend.
No problem. I'd just like to add that the Methods team, this addition to the portfolio of the very good, high-quality machines that Methods represents, WEILER fits right in line with them. And so, just like you mentioned, I'd encourage everybody to reach out to your local Methods representative, and we'll be glad to help you with whatever your needs are.
And that's all she wrote, folks. Well done, Johnny. Thank you so much for your time, buddy.